Cold mornings, frosty windows. Yup, it's that time of year. So treat yourself and start your day with a cup of fresh roasted Sterling Roastery coffee, sourced from around the world and roasted multiple times a week for unbeatable freshness. It's the kind of warm-up every sports fan deserves this holiday season. And right now, you can win one of 3 $50 Sterling gift cards, perfect for gifting or building your own winning lineup of Java in the morning. Enter today at sportshistorynetwork.com/giveaways so you can wake up, warm up, and Sterling up this holiday season. Again, that's sportshistorynetwork.com/giveaways.
125 defining moments, one legendary league. This is Darren Hayes of the Pigskin Dispatch podcast, and a great book is out right now, NFL Moments, 125 icons and stories that define the NFL. It's a definitive visual history of the National Football League, packed with iconic images and untold stories behind the game's biggest plays and its greatest players. From the early legends like Red Grange to today's stars like Patrick Mahomes, this book is a touchdown for fans who crave more than just stories. So give your football bookshelf a Hall of Fame upgrade or snag a holiday gift for that NFL history buff on your shopping list. Pick up NFL Moments, available now at your favorite bookseller.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Yesterday's Sports on the Sports History Network. Today we're going to have part 2 of the 1975 season of the Baltimore Colts. We will pick it up at week 10, which proved to be a real test for this young emerging team as they traveled to Miami to face the 7-2 Dolphins. The only points the Colts scored in the first quarter were a safety by Bruce Laird, and Miami took a 14-2 lead in the second quarter. But the Colts responded and led 19-17 before Lydell Mitchell increased the lead to 26-17 with a 32-yard touchdown run. The final score was Baltimore 33, Miami 17. The Colts defense, which had struggled earlier in the season, limited the Dolphins to just 167 total yards, forced 5 turnovers, and sacked the Dolphins quarterbacks 4 times. Lydell Mitchell rushed for over 100 yards once again. The following week, the Colts took an early 7-0 lead over the Chiefs when Jackie Wallace returned an interception 42 yards for a touchdown. They extended their lead to 14-0 before halftime. In the third quarter, Lydell Mitchell ran for a 70-yard touchdown, and then tight end Raymond Chester caught a 17-yard pass to make it 28-0. The Chiefs scored 2 late touchdowns to trim the final to 28-14. Chiefs quarterback Len Dawson threw for 307 yards, but the Colts defense limited KC to 66 rushing yards and sacked Dawson 7 times. Burt Jones completed 12 of 13 passes with only 1 incompletion. His backup, Marty Domrez, went 4 for 4. Lydell Mitchell, solidifying his status as one of the league's top running backs, ran for 178 yards and gained another 41 yards receiving. It was the Colts' 6th straight win, drawing the league's attention. In Week 12, the Colts traveled to Shea Stadium in New York and shut out the Giants 21-0. The Colts defense, nicknamed the Looney Tunes, had 3 sacks and forced 4 turnovers, one of which was linebacker Stan White's 23-yard interception return for a touchdown. Behind some outstanding blocking by the offensive line, Lydell Mitchell ran for 119 yards on 23 carries with 1 touchdown. In the second to last game of the season, the Colts faced the Dolphins. If the Colts won this game, the teams would be tied for first place with identical 9-4 records. The Dolphins took a 7-0 lead in the third quarter, but the Colts tied it in the fourth. The game went into overtime as a thick fog hovered over Memorial Stadium. Colts kicker Tony Linhart kicked a 31-yard field goal to secure a hard-fought 10-7 victory for Baltimore. The Colts offense played a fairly conservative game, but committed no turnovers. The Looney Tunes defense struggled to contain Mercury Morris, who rushed for 96 yards on 21 carries, but they limited the Dolphins to just 97 yards passing. The final game of the regular season was a rematch against the Patriots. The Colts' goal was simple: win and secure a spot in the playoffs, or lose and see their season end. Things didn't start well for Baltimore when the Patriots scored the first touchdown on a 99-yard kickoff return. New England still led 14-10 at halftime. A 20-yard pass from Burt Jones to Raymond Chester gave the Colts a 17-14 lead. The Patriots retook the lead in the fourth quarter, but an 11-yard touchdown run by Lydell Mitchell put Baltimore back in front. A 30-yard interception return by Nelson Muncie sealed the 34-21 victory for Baltimore. The Colts defense recorded 3 sacks and 5 interceptions. Over the season, the Colts totaled 59 sacks, the most in the league. Defensive end John Dutton, offensive tackle George Coons, and Lydell Mitchell were selected for the Pro Bowl. Coons was also named to the All-Pro team. Mitchell finished the season with 1,193 rushing yards, the highest total by a Colts running back up to that point. Ted Marchibroda won the Coach of the Year award. The Colts and Dolphins tied for first place in the AFC East with 10-4 records. But since the Colts had beaten Miami both times they met, they won the division. Not only did Miami lose the division title, but they also missed out on the wild card spot to Cincinnati, which finished with an 11-3 record. The Bengals would face the Raiders, while Baltimore faced the formidable challenge of trying to dethrone the defending Super Bowl champion Pittsburgh Steelers. It was clear from the start that the Colts couldn't run the ball against the Steel Curtain defense. To make things worse, Burt Jones, who completed 6 of 11 passes for 91 yards, was knocked out of the game with a shoulder injury. Despite this, the Colts led 10-7 in the third quarter, mainly because the Steelers committed 3 turnovers. However, an interception by Mel Blount put the Steelers at the Colts' 7-yard line. Rocky Bleier ran it in for a touchdown, giving Pittsburgh the lead. The Steelers added another score in the fourth quarter, extending their lead to 21-10. Jones returned to the game and connected with Glenn Doughty for a 58-yard pass. The Colts advanced to the Steelers' 3-yard line before Jack Ham knocked the ball loose from Jones. Andy Russell recovered it and returned it 93 yards for a touchdown. The final score was Steelers 28, Colts 10. The score might have been much closer if Jones hadn't injured his shoulder. But two other factors contributed to the loss. Number one, the Colts gained just 82 rushing yards on 41 carries. And number two, the Colts defense couldn't contain Franco Harris, who rushed for 153 yards on 27 carries. The Colts finished 11-3 in 1976, but were again defeated in the playoffs by the Steelers. In 1977, they went 10-4, but lost in the playoffs to the Raiders. That game went into double overtime and is considered one of the greatest playoff games in NFL history. The Colts did not return to the Super Bowl until 2006, when they beat the Bears 29-17. That will conclude our podcast for today. I hope you enjoyed this look back at some Baltimore Colts history. Thank you and God bless.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com. You did not see their faces on the Wheaties boxes, nor did they have the headlines, but they were breaking barriers, one pitch at a time. The integration of minor league baseball, a history and player register, 1946 to 1959, by Rick Swain and Gary C. Fink, shines a light on the overlooked heroes who paved the way for future legends. From dusty bus rides to hostile crowds, these players fought for a place in a game that did not want to see them win. More than history, it's a tribute to courage, perseverance, and the power of a game to change. Honor their legacy today and grab a copy of The Integration of Minor League Baseball at your favorite bookseller.